What's up, heroes? In this video, I want to share with you 3 ways that you can trick yourself into waking up earlier so that you can have more time to get more stuff done. Now, waking up early has been the greatest habit that I've ever implemented into my life. I found that there's so much more peace and solitude in the mornings. I have more time for my brain to just brainstorm and put strategies and game plans together. I'm more organized. I'm more focused when I start the day ahead of time, when I get a head start, when I essentially beat the day. I get so much more stuff done because I'm able to be way more productive because I got a head start on everything. So it's one of the greatest things you can do. But however, it's hard. It's one of the hardest transitions to make, especially if you're used to waking up late or if you're used to going to bed really late, which I was. And so I want to share with you 3 things, 3 quick ways, easy things that you can do starting today that you can start to train yourself to get up a little earlier every day. Now, the first concept is if you want to wake up early, you have to go to bed earlier. There's no way around that. So you're going to have to make this trade-off. And this might be a tough one initially, a tough pill to swallow, that, you have to look at what are you doing at night and make the trade-off. Is that worth, sacrificing a productive morning? So when I first started trying to wake up early, I recognized that there's no way I could stay up to midnight watching Netflix and then try to get up at 5 in the morning. That just wasn't going to happen. So I had to look at what was I doing at night and say, is that more important than me being able to get up and get a head start so that I can run full steam tomorrow morning? And so I had to make this trade-off, and I decided that it was, I had to trade my useless evenings for productive mornings. And that might be something that you're going to have to take a deep look at. Now, I know, you might have this, a lot of people look at their evenings as that's their release, that's their downtime. Like they need that after a hard day. They deserve it. They've earned the right to sit on the couch and just watch and binge, their favorite shows all night. And that's fine. But just recognize that then you won't get up tomorrow bright, vibrant, early. You won't beat the day. And so this is you have to make this trade-off, right? And I decided to make that trade-off, and it was one of the greatest decisions I've ever made in my life. And so look at your look at your evenings and say, is it worth trading your useless evenings for super productive mornings? And productive mornings turn into super productive days, right? So that was the first trade-off I made. And when I made that decision, I had to trade what were the things that I was doing at night, watching TV, playing video games, talking on the phone or social media. And I traded those things for reading a book. So in order for me to tame my evenings, the first thing I had to do was disengage with any of the things that was firing my brain. And I traded that for reading. And now for me, reading soothes my brain. Instead of firing it up, engaging with it, whenever I read, boy, it coasts me down. So when I started reading at night, it was the best way for me to coast my brain into getting into the mood for sleep. And I found I started going to bed earlier. And so now I go to bed, at first I had to train my brain to, start getting ready for bed at 10. Now I go to bed at 8. I put the kids down at around 7:30. As soon as they go down, I, lay in the bed or on the couch, and I open a book, whatever personal development book I'm reading at the time. And I start reading. Boy, within 10 minutes of me cracking that book open, I'm a couple pages in and I'm yawning already. And so you want to train your brain to shut off? Start reading. Reading will bore you to sleep, literally. And then that way you go to bed earlier, which allows you to wake up earlier. That's my first tip, is you're going to have to go to bed earlier. And reading at night, for me, I found is the best way to train my brain to go to bed earlier. The second thing you can do to kind of get yourself ready and to boost up first thing in the morning is what I call create your Christmas morning. Now imagine this. Think of whenever you have something exciting that you're looking forward to, like you're going on vacation, or in my case, whenever I go golf. When I don't have a tee time scheduled and I want to just go get on the wait list at the golf course, you have to get there really early. Golf courses open at sunup. So, some golf courses, they're open at, 6:30 in the morning. And so if you want to get around a golf and you don't already have a reservation, you have to get there and be the first person in line to get your name on the list. So on days when I know I want to go golf, I would be up at 5 in the morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and I'd race out the door to go get my name on and be first on the list. And I used to think, how is it that I can have no problem waking up at 5 in the morning to go golf, but every other day of the week, I'm struggling? And what I realized is because I knew what I was looking forward to the next day. I already had in my mind what was happening the next day, and my subconscious got excited over it. And so when I went to bed, my subconscious would ruminate on it, and so then my subconscious would kick in and wake me up. I wouldn't even need an alarm clock on those days. I essentially was like a kid on Christmas morning. You know how a kid on Christmas morning, you don't have to wake them up. Matter of fact, they can't even go to sleep. They're so excited. So what I found was I can create my Christmas morning experience every day of the week. And that was by planning what I was going to do the next day. Now, this worked not just for golf, but at night I would sit down with my journal and I would say, okay, what are my goals I'm working on? Okay, what are the things I need to focus on tomorrow? And I would essentially just brainstorm and plan out what I'm going to do the next day. And I found out I got just as excited over that as I did for golf. Now, I went to bed ruminating, excited over I just connected to my goals and I just said, okay, so tomorrow, these are the things I'm doing. These are the things I'm working on. And that was enough to then my eyes would open up at 5 in the morning without an alarm because my subconscious was ruminating all night long over what I was excited for. I was excited to get up and go do my workout. I was excited to work on my speech or this new keynote that I'm presenting or this new client that I'm going to meet with. I was excited for all these things because I planned it the night before. Essentially, I planted the seed of excitement. I created my Christmas morning by planning my day the night before. So sit down with a journal before you go to bed, plan out what you're going to do the next day, and you plant those seeds of excitement. And that way you're going to wake up with more momentum and excitement. So that's the second one, is plan your day the night before. And finally, the last piece, and this is the easiest thing you could do, as I said, I'm never late for an appointment. I never missed an appointment. Whenever I had a really early meeting, I would get up and I would make sure I'm there on time for that meeting. Whenever I had something I had to be present for, I would be up well in advance and enough time to make sure I got there. And I found that having a morning appointment is the thing that got me going. So when I first started waking up early, I found like a local gym that had 5 a.m. classes. It was something that I had to report to. And that is what solidified my new rhythm. My new wake up rhythm was because I had something that I had to be up and I had to report to, like an appointment, just like it was a client appointment. I had to report to that class every day. And by doing that, it held me accountable to being up. And so you want to find some accountability for getting up. That's going to force you up. Finding a morning appointment. In some cases, maybe it's a gym class. In other cases, you can find accountability groups. In fact, Morning Hero, we have accountability groups that meet every morning at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. In all time zones. And in that morning appointment, they do a daily goal setting ritual together. So they plan and organize their day, and then they commit what are the 3 biggest things they're going to accomplish that day, and then they get off the call and they go do it. More importantly, that's a morning appointment that they have to report to, and so it gets them up, and then it gets them going, and it gets their mindset ready for the day around their goals, around what they're going to accomplish. And so that's another example of a morning appointment, having something that's holding you accountable to being up early that you have to report to. And then by reporting to that, you're starting your day earlier, you're starting your day with momentum, and you're getting a head start on the rest of the world. So that's my third biggest tip, is to find a morning appointment to report to. And if you want to learn more about the Morning Hero accountability groups, you can actually join one for free right now. So down below, there should be a form that you can fill out where you can try one of our Morning Hero accountability groups for free. And essentially it's a morning appointment. You join in on a call every morning, every weekday morning. And on that call, you'll go through a daily goal setting ritual. A facilitator will walk you through how to plan and organize your day centered around your 3 biggest goals. And after that, you'll commit to the group with the 3 biggest moves you're going to make that day. And then every day you're going to go off and you're going to do it. And you'll find that you're going to win your mornings, you're going to win your days, and you're just going to have so much more vibrancy in life. So if you want to join one of our groups for free, right now there's a form below where you fill that form out. You'll talk with me specifically and walk you through how it works and see if it's something that you think will fit for you. And if it does, then let's 10x your life one morning at a time. So go ahead, click that link, and I'll see you inside the program.